at 5 years old, his little picture here.
It still doesn't make any sense to his family. 13 years, 2 months, and 6 days later, the answer still isn't any closer than it was in February of 2008. If he didn't go to the Hy Vee, then where did Ben go and why?
I mean, every day I think about it, every day. You know, it was a hectic time.
In the winter of 2007, Ben went through a dramatic event.
He had a DUI. He was in a head-on collision. They needed the jaws of life to get him out. He was airlifted to Iowa City for multiple skull fractures. He had injured another woman in the accident.
That crash had changed his life and his perspective.
You know, he felt terrible, you know, it tore him up inside.
And Ben was still dealing with the consequences when he disappeared.
He had a trial awaiting for the whole incident. This is basically his handwritten step-by-step plan. He writes a little bit here about how his plan to get his sentence lessened and try to resolve it.
But his older sister, Audra, whom he was closest with, says things were starting to look up.
He was in 2 classes at CCC, and he was paying for them out of pocket. And so he was still going to school, still doing his homework, working on his stuff.
He really craved success, and for him, success was being successful at a job, being a good middle-class American.
Ben's younger sister, Helen, was just in high school when he disappeared.
He was my older brother, 4 years older, and I was 15, 16 when he disappeared, and he was 19.
She says their age gap meant their relationship wasn't as close or as deep as his and Audra's was.
For me and him, it was just about the daily banter around the kitchen table.
So as an adult, Helen feels especially determined to put the pieces of Ben's disappearance together, to find Ben.
We know from witnesses that Ben was here in these white apartments on the night that he went missing. And we know from camera footage that he wasn't here where he said he was going. But instead, evidence suggests that he went all the way this way, in the opposite direction to South Clinton, all the way under the overpass to where his shoes were found in a vacant lot. But that doesn't make sense.
The search for Ben has been a personal journey for Helen.
2 or 3 years after he went missing, I was just like engulfed, like obsessed with it.
After becoming too involved at one point, she had to take a step back. But now that she's taken some time, she's back with a new fervor to solve Ben's case.
I'm even reaching out to like Ben's old friends on the internet.
Helen and I walked around the town of Clinton,
So apparently he left that party and walked to this Hy Vee.
retracing some of the steps Ben actually took, and the ones he supposedly took on the night he went missing.
There's no real verifiable evidence that he ever even walked in that direction at like 10-something at night at a party.
After Ben's disappearance, a plethora of web sleuths and psychics came pouring in with their own insights as to where Ben might be. Helen has followed every lead in her own separate investigation from police.
At this point, nothing is too crazy, nothing's unheard of. I'll listen to anything. There are rumors and stuff that basically correlate that apartment with this apartment and that vacant lot.
But none of them have yet explained how Ben's shoes were found blocks away on the other side of town.
There's not even a sidewalk here to get under the bridge to South Clinton. Yeah, he would have had to like walk all the way here with like 5 feet of snow or something like that. Why would you walk all of this to lose your shoes in the middle of the winter?
Police and search crews thoroughly investigated Ben's shoes when they were found.
They had the search dogs go around where his shoes were found, but didn't come to anything.
And they thoroughly searched the entire area of South Clinton as well, to no avail.
We got a search and rescue boat come through, dredge the water. We had a helicopter in the sky, K-9 units. We walked by foot all of South Clinton. It's not that big. And nothing was ever found of him.
In Helen's mind, the clue of Ben's shoes is hardly a clue at all.
If there was foul play, in my mind, it would be a way to throw us off. So my search doesn't end here or really necessarily begin here, but his shoes were here.
Helen's search for her brother has been a lifelong journey.
I always had like multiples of my brother's missing flyers in my van. This is actually my, during one of the first searches, I'm in this teal. This is my Aunt Julie and the flyers we got initially.
One that she hopes will end with an answer, so she can stop looking and start receiving closure for a family member she loved so dearly.
I guess it's my job to be cynical and really just like look through all of the BS and just, you know, take in the hard possibilities, take in the hard answers.
For anyone who might know of Ben's whereabouts, or for Ben himself, both Helen and Audra have something to say.
It affects every aspect of your life. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about him.
Think about me when I can't sleep at night, or the nightmares I have, or think about when you can't find something at your house and how it drives you insane. You look everywhere for it, and all day that's all you think about. But that's me and my family all day, every day. And it's absolutely maddening.